Hello YouTube, it's Rhonda, and I'm coming to you because I said I'm doing this travel up to my age 50, but I'm also going to show you some of the things that I'm actually doing. So tonight I decided to do something on aromatherapy, intuitive empaths, and Bath and Body Works. I am by nature an empath. So I absorb people's energy. So what happens is somebody, I can be feeling all good and somebody comes around and they're in a low frequency, whether they're dealing with fear or guilt or something like that. And if I'm not careful, I'll all of a sudden start feeling a certain type of way because I will absorb their energy. Remember the law of from Sir Isaac Newton is of the law of thermodynamics is energy is not lost nor destroyed, it's just transferred from one party to another. So what ends up happening is someone can come around and I can absorb their energy. So I have to be very careful when I'm going into hospitals or large crowds or anything. I own a school, so I have kids from kindergarten through 12th grade and their parents and people that come in on a regular basis, and they can be dealing with anything at any time. I'm also in ministry, so empaths are natural healers. So what we do is we draw people that are sometimes broken. So or those that are in not necessarily broken but in need of healing. So what ends up happening is I can sit and I can talk to somebody, and depending on what they're dealing with at that time, I can take and absorb all of their energy, and before you know it, I'm left depleted. So what I had to do is come into contact and realize why I was feeling that way. So when I found out why I was feeling that way, I ended up coming up with something that would really start helping me and protect me. I started doing research on empaths and finding out that aromatherapy helps them really well. So I said, okay, hey, let me find the quickest path to the least resistance, and it just so happens to be aromatherapy. So according to how the laws of attraction work, I walk into Bath and Body Works one day, and what do they have? They have an aromatherapy line. Yay! So what I did is I just went in and I just got a bunch of them. I got one that was based on energy. I got one based on stress relief. I've got all these, and I started looking up and finding out what was going to be best for me. So it did take it some time. I ended up using the Bath and Body Works that I would put at the front desk at the school. So when the parents or the kids would come in, even the little kids, they would come in, and the first thing they would see in the morning when they were signing in is they saw the aromatherapy. So if they were dealing with stress, they could put the stress relief on. If they were dealing with they had low energy, or if they needed to rest, they could deal with the lavender. So that worked out pretty good. A lot of people say, well, you know what, it's not necessarily too potent or what have you, it's too much perfume or whatever, but you know what, it works for me. So I just finished my nightly ritual, and I decided to go ahead and get you guys in on what I do. Now before I go to bed, I also use this because I'm heading into my I'm in my older age. I like Pepsi, but in order to be able to rest at night too, I need to also have pH water. I need to have some alkaline water to make sure that I'm balanced out. So I drink plenty of water. That's good. That's good. So what I want to do is give you an idea of some of the things that I use. This is Bath and Body Works. This is the eucalyptus and spearmint, and this is the bubble bath. So I take it and I put just a tap of this, maybe a teaspoon of the stress relief in the bath in the morning and at night. I also take a little bit of this is the one that because I said I'm on this journey to find, for love, to be in a state of love. This is the one that I use all the time, and this is for love. And this has rose and lavender, so I use a teaspoon of this too. And it's a lot of things that these bring. The eucalyptus and the spearmint is for stress relief. And then you have the rose and the lavender, or the rose and the vanilla. That's for love. So and the rose helps bring confidence. So sometimes I'm out in the daytime, and I use the rose quite a bit. And I could be in a store. I was just at a store recently, and a lady was in the aisle. She was an older lady, and she was like, I don't want to offend you. She's like, but you smell so good. I said, oh, you know what? You don't offend me. This is Bath and Body Works, and this is from the Love collection. And I said, you got to have love. And I said, it also breeds confidence. And she said, well, hey, I need a whole case of that. Perfect. But I like the different things that they have. I use the moisturizer. I use this every day. This is the moisturizer. My skin can be somewhat dry because I'm in the tub a lot. I spend a lot of time in the tub. So I use the moisturizer, and it helps with dry skin and cracking skin. I also have like a new scrub that I just tried. I don't use it as much because I really don't have a lot of dead skin. There is also, I don't use any type of soap or anything, but I use the gel. This is the gel. So you'll see that I have also, sometimes I'll mix the two lotions together because I like to keep the scent. Mix the two lotions together, and I'll mix the two gels together, just as I mix the two foam baths together. And in doing that, what happens is I have a combination of stress relief along with confidence at the same time. So I'm feeling good. So what is almost like what I'm doing is I'm putting a shield around me, because when I get in the morning and I bathe, empaths are known for needing to be near water. So when I get up and it reminds me of the 23rd Psalm. He leads me beside the still water and restores my soul. So when I get in a tub of water, my soul, which was my mind, will, and emotions, become balanced. So while I'm sitting there and I'm bathing, the water is still. I'm building like a fortress around me, so I'm feeling good. So then during the day, I have somewhat like a barrier that's going on, and at any time I can grab my lotion. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll have the very same hand soaps, especially the stress relief, in the bathrooms, and I'll wash my hands at certain times of day, put the lotion on there or the cream, and by the end of the night I can take a long bath and I can end up using it. So what happens is there's also bath salts. These are really pretty good. These are bath salts. I also use Epsom salt. Now, Epsom salt is also good because it has magnesium in it. So anytime you may have anything dealing with your blood pressure, or at times like as we're aging, our hormones will fluctuate. Magnesium helps with it. A lot of times you can't get the magnesium that you need through a lot of foods, because you would have to eat a lot of leafy greens. I do eat the leafy greens. I drink the smart water because the smart water does have magnesium in it, but the leafy greens and things do have it. But also when you put the Epsom salt in the water, the Epsom salt melts in the water and it absorbs into your skin. So I use that. And then I have a treat here that at times I use these. And these are just like the bath bombs. You have like the bath bombs. As you notice, I kind of stay in the same family when it comes to certain things. I'm kind of creature of habit when it comes to certain things, because when it's something that works for you and you have a reason why it works for you, you keep it working. And I encourage people to do that when they're on that path where they need to feel good. You got all of this stuff that's going on in the world. I also don't watch a lot of TV. In fact, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched regular TV in 2 years. I'll watch some things like on YouTube. I'll watch things on, the vibrations. I'll watch things on the laws of attraction. Watch things like that. I also used to watch a lot of Nollywood. But I've kind of calmed down on that. Now what I'm doing is I'm watching a lot of funny movies. I'm going back watching some of my funny movies on love, because whatever vibration you want to feel, that's what you start. Wherever your focus is that's where your energy goes. So if you're focusing on the negative and the news and things like that, your energy is all in that. That's where your mind is at. But if you're focused on love, things like that, that's where your mind is going to go. Now, there's something new that Bath and Body Works came out with, and I love these. These are pillow mist. I actually tried them for the first time last night, and the one thing that I do like about them, here, I'm just going to take a regular pillow. I'm not going to keep a pillowcase on here, but you spray it. You spray it here. And the one thing I like about it is it's absorbing right now in the pillow. So by the time you put your head down on the pillow, it's not going to be wet. It's actually dry now. So it's actually just a pillow mist. So if you try to use it as like a mist for your body or something like that, it's not going to work because it actually is a pillow mist. Now, another one that I don't use as much, and this is the lavender, and this is for sleep. So by the time I finish with the stress relief and the love, I don't really need this. Another thing too, if I'm just really exhausted and I really need to rest, I will use this. But if I have a busy day, the next day I need to get up early, I don't use it after maybe 8 o'clock. Because what's going to happen is my body is going to relax so much. And this has lavender and vanilla. From the lavender, it's going to relax so much from the lavender that I'm not going to be able to get up on time. So if I take a bath like at between 5 and 8, I can use this. But if I'm taking one after 8, I cannot use it at all because it's going to be hard for me to get up because I'm going to be so rested. Now, my dog, Samuel, is very high energy. So, at one point I tried the CBD oil and the honey on the CBD oil or the CBD honey, things like that for him. I really did. But sometimes when I want him to just rest, I'll take this and put it on his paws. And I've also referred this to other people to use when they have pets, to take and use these on their dogs and what have you, and they'll relax. If they don't have the CBD oil or something like that, they'll actually relax. But when it comes to being an empath, you really have to watch your energy. You can have a life that is really on the move. When you're by yourself, you can control your environment. You can control what you listen to. You can control who you talk to. You can control everything. But when you're around other people, you are absorbing what is going on around you. So you can't necessarily control everything. That you can't just stop everything going on. But you can control what goes in and how you deal with it when it goes in. Eat the different foods that you eat. I'm slowly but surely heading into a less meat diet or less dead animal diet. I'm not saying that I'm going to be totally vegan, but I'm understanding some of the things that are going on with the meat. Wherever there's trauma that has been stored, it doesn't mean that, after you kill the animal, it doesn't mean that the trauma that they went through, the pulling them away from their moms or what have you, and the slaughtering, that doesn't go away. So it's stored in their joints and stored in their bones and stored in their DNA. So when they kill the meat, we eat it, we're actually starting to eat those feelings that are in the DNA. So we're watching our DNA change. You know, you watch your relationships, you watch your the situations that you're in, because your DNA is slowly but surely changing. I listen to sometimes. I listen to 432 hertz. Listen to things in 432 hertz. Donald Lawerence has something. He has this new album, Goshen, that is out, and it's in 432 hertz. I listen to 528, which is love. I just listen to some of the music that have those vibrations in it, because it also helps with the balancing of the vibrations that are inside of your body. I pray regularly. I read the 23rd Psalm, the Lord's Prayer. I read the 1 Corinthians. I read on the love chapter. And I I don't want to watch anything that has something to do with anybody being hurt. And if I see something that's going in a wrong direction, I will change the station, or, you know, if I see something that is not right, I'll just turn away from it, because right now I'm in a area of creating. I'm trying to get to this vibration, working on getting to this vibration of love. And I know that you have to clear your subconscious. So, because whatever we give out, the situations that we have in our lives, it's not because they just showed up. It's because we drew them to us. So if I want to draw better things to me, I have to love myself. I have to be willing to take a chance and weed out everything that is not serving of me, that will draw things that are good for me. So I'm working on this, and my whole thing, I have a method that I'm going to be introducing called the Rhonda method. And the first method, the first letter of the method is R. What is your reasoning for doing whatever you do? Have a reason, have an intention, you know, because that's where the energy comes from. So I want to do those things. But tonight I was just basically dealing with the aromatherapy, the being of the intuitive empath, and Bath and Body Works, and also drinking lots and lots of water. Water is very good for you. Flushes out those toxins, gives you good skin. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean we need to overly age so fast. You know, you need to feel good. You need to look good. It's things you've got to do. So tonight, my thing is to make sure that, you know, you feel good. Just because you may be getting older, or you may be younger and you may be stressed out, you may be a teenager. I refer these things to even the teenagers that I know. Hey, this stuff is good for you. And, you know, it's already mixed, because if you go and get your regular aromatherapy, you have to mix it with something. A lot of it, you just can't use it with that high potency, and this is already used. So I encourage Bath and Body Works until you can take maybe an aromatherapy class or something that teaches you how to use this, because it's a really good thing. So if you like this, I'm asking you to like, I'm asking you to subscribe, and I'm asking you to share. And I would love for you to just have a good night. Rhonda signing off.